effect of degree of absorption, right? Degree of absorption, that effect of pressure on degree of absorption and physical absorption or physics options. What happens? See, as the pressure increases, the degree of absorptions increases. The reason behind this is what? Here, the adsorbent molecules form multi-layers. That is, multi-molecular layers. That means they are accommodative. Once it layers form, though it is their weak bond, all weaker section of the people, they are very, very accommodative. The lower group in a society also they are accommodative. They are coexistent. They don't see the caste, creed, religion and all. That is all multimedia. Therefore, as the pressure increases, what happens? They are accommodative. Right? Whereas here, the degree of extension for chemisoptions, as the pressure increases, what happens? In the initial stage, it's accommodate. Then after that, it remain constant because it forms a single layer only. Because it's a single layer, it will not allow any other things, right? It is like 100% over 3%. I'll explain later what it is, right? 100% for this, 10%, 100% over 3%. It's a very, very sociology will get it, all this concept. Now here what happens, because of the chemical bond, it will not allow, so that in the initial stages, lot of area is available. See, lot of area is available. Area means jobs. Lot of jobs are available. Once it occupied, it will not allow any of other things apart from its own. Right? It will become saturated. Here it is not like that. It will form multi-layer. In all the places this only occupy, it become form a strong chemical bond. That means all the area is completely occupied and it will not allow the multi-layers. Therefore, the degree of absorption for chemical absorption remains, initially increases. This increase is due to what? Availability of area. Once if the area is occupied, all the molecules are completely occupied, become saturated, it will not form a multi-layer. This is a no multi-molecular layer in chemisoption. In physical absorption, there is a multiple layer. Remember, these graphs are very, very important. This is the degree of absorptions. Okay. See, in NEET they have asked the X by M versus pressure for physics option and chemisoptions. Different time they have asked. Even CET also. You have to identify the graph properly. Right? And also multi-molecular layer in physics options. It's a weak van der Waals forces. Here, strong chemical bond. It will form only one layer. It will not allow any other layer. For that reason, it is saturated. In the beginning stage, it increases because of lot of area is available for adsorbent molecules to sit over there. Once if it sits, it will not leave. Right? Just remember this. See, suppose I will take 20 moles of a gas. Right? Here water and here 2000 moles of a gas. Here what happen? One or two layer it form. Here it forms multi-layers. More number of moles, more number of degree of absorption. The number of moles is directly proportional to the pressure. Larger the pressure is directly proportional to number of moles. That is extent of adsorption. This is multi-molecular layer for physical absorptions. But that is not the case. Whatever pressure you apply, nothing will happen here. Okay. Therefore, just you have to know the difference between these two. Right? See, now I have written two diagram. Equal pressures I am applying. Here multi-layer is formed. Here single layer is formed. This is multi-molecular layer. Here no multi-molecular layer. This is physical absorption. This is chemical absorption. This is strong bond. Here, weak bond. Is it very clear? This type of picture also they will give. Therefore, you apply your common sense and write accordingly. Right? See, there is a neat question. Flocculation value, a problem on flocculation value given. For a coagulation of 100 ml of arsenic sulfide salt, 5 ml of 1 molar sodium chloride is required. What is flocculation value? See the problem here. Arsenic, salt. What is salt? No question. Next, coagulation and flocculation, one are the same. Flocculation. 100 ml. Then again 1 molar comes. Newton. And 5 ml milliliter. See all these things, little by looking itself you'll be struggling. You have to calculate this and find out the answer. There are 4 choices will be there. You have to calculate this flocculation value. First, you know what is flocculation. Now the question, what are colloids first? Coagulation. Colloids are sol. Now you know what is sol. Sol is a colloid. Colloids are the particles whose size of the colloids in between 1 nanometer. Yes, I remember 1 nanometer. Okay, 1 nanometer around 100 or 1000 nanometer. Colloidals. See, we'll do detailed way later, but now at present, minimum information only I am giving for you to do this question, right? Colloidal. Now, say example, I'll take a positive colloids. What are positive colloids? These are charged particles. They are repelling each other, right? They repel each other, but they will not settle down or they will not evaporate. This is a colloidal solution. Positively charged colloidal solution. See, now these all molecules are there very far off. Now I add an electrolyte. Say example, hydrochloric acid, positive, negative. That is AB. A is positive, B is negative. Now they are very far off distance. No? This negative goes on attack. Example, chloride attack. This one, say silver. See, silver colloid. This is silver colloid. Silver chloride, it forms. See, they come very closer. Therefore, here silver chloride actually precipitate happens. What happens? Here positive and negative. This negative joined together. This was very, very far apart. Now it comes very closer. Therefore, it forms a molecule, silver chloride like this. They come such a big volume as reduced to a small volume. So come close together, right? It forms a precipitate, right? Or it's also called coagulation. This is also called coagulation. Coagulation or flocculation. Flocculation or coagulation. This is the precipitate it forms, right? Therefore, this colloidal solution or sol becomes precipitate. This phenomenon is called flocculation or coagulation. You understood? Here come close to together. So example, just you have come across. You take one test tube. The test tube contains potassium iodide. Suppose silver nitrate, I will add it. This is one of the reaction, I think. Then what will happen? You will get silver nitrate plus potassium iodide form. Silver iodide, it is a precipitate, plus potassium nitrate. Here what happens is, which is larger? This is large quantity. This is small quantity. See, remember, again recollecting you. See, anything which is very large, this is called dispersive medium. Dispersive medium. right? This is dispersive phase, that is dispersion phase. This is, say example, silver nitrate is small quantity, that is why dispersion medium, this is dispersive phase. Therefore what will happen, dispersive, this disperse here, okay, this small quantity, this is large quantity, TSN I am adding to large value. You understood? Here, observe here what is the forming, this is a small, right, value, this is also out of these two, which is the common ion in these things, large quantity, this is the small quantity. Here what is this, sorry, here around this, which is a common ion is what, common ion is what, iodine. Therefore your silver, no, on silver iodide, in this precipitate, on this precipitate, lot of iodine will cover, because the common ion, remember, okay, this precipitate, all this common ion will cover. Similarly, just you see here, I take silver nitrate, I'll take it, it is a large quantity, this is large quantity, but I am going to add potassium iodide, this is small quantity. What will happen? Reaction remains same. Which is large quantity? Silver, is it not? In this case. Here which is the common ion? Silver in this case. Here the common ion is iodine. Here silver. Therefore in this precipitate, which is common, that will only come and surround it here. Ag, like this, right? This is the trick. Positive. This is called positive colloid. This is negative colloid. Now the question is what in the NEET they have asked. Large quantity of silver nitrate is taken, potassium iodide is added, small quantity. What type of colloid? Positive colloid or negative colloid? You have to tell it is positive colloid. Because what is the common here? Reaction is same. This reaction is same always. Then again what? You must know what is dispersive medium, dispersive phase. You go and read it. Okay. Dispersive phase is what? The large quantity. Dispersive medium is small. Okay. Small. Therefore, here dispersive phase is this. See, I may be wrong also. Please, on spot I am doing. I also have to refer the text. But at present, I may get the correct answer somehow. This is the correct answer. I am quite sure this will be the correct answer. I when identified the answer, this is the correct. But somewhere some conceptual mistakes are there. You have to go on verify the textbooks. 100% never depend on any teacher or anybody or any textbook. Please, that is the only advice I'll tell. You must have all your own doubts on your own. Got it? As a human being, we know we'll forget something. We'll tell the wrong concepts sometime. Therefore, apart from what we teach, you go there. Here what I do is, this is the common ion. I'm adding potassium iodide on silver nitrate. Silver nitrate is a large quantity, potassium iodide. The reaction remains same. Silver iodide is formed. On the silver iodide, which is the common here, silver, is it not? Silver. Therefore, silver iodide is precipitate. On that, this iodine will be surrounding. Therefore, iodine will be, this is on this silver is common now, silver will be surrounding. Therefore, this is this precipitate. This is called positive colloid. Now, another question paper. If they may, same question, slide they'll twist. Right? Suppose, the question paper, if they want to change, then at. Suppose potassium iodide is large. I am adding silver nitrate. What type of colloid will form? Look, reaction you are written. Here very large quantity. Here, out of these two, which is common here, iodine. Iodine is common. Therefore, silver iodide, you write it. On that, you write iodine, which is surrounding. This is a negative colloid. negative colloid. Okay, this is the trick. Easy, no? This is the way just I given. You know what is flocculation? Flocculation. Now, how to do this problem? See, so many things we are getting it now. Now, coagulation of this 100 ml of arsenic sulfide. This let us see how we are going to solve the problem. See, now flocculation, right? For this problem, you must know the definition of flocculation also. The question is this, right? You take, I want 1000 ml. 1000 ml means what? 1 liter. 1 liter of coagulation solution. Or I want 1 liter of colloidal. Right? How much amount of electrolyte? Here I said, what is the electrolyte we added here? Electrolyte, where is this now? Just how much amount of the electrolyte should be added here? Electrolyte is, in this case, is what? Silver nitrate. Here electrolyte is this. So that if I add, I must get a coagulation solution of 1 liter. How much I have to add? How much means how much millimolar, not milligram. How much how much amount of electrolyte is to be added to convert 1 liter of coagulation solution into precipitate. That means I take 1 liter of coagulation solution. Now, which is the coagulation solution? Potassium iodide. I am putting it. So how much I have to add it? Same way. This is also called coagulation value. How much amount means what? How much millimole? How much millimole? Because for that problem, look, molar, right? Milliliter sodium chloride is required. That means here what I added here in this problem, previous problem, I have added potassium iodide, sodium chloride. That is the only thing. What is the counterpart of potassium? Sodium. What is the counterpart? Halogen chloride. Here the problem is this, how much sodium chloride. You understood? Which is the colloidal solution? Silver nitrate. Silver nitrate is the colloid. 1 liter I will take it. In 1 liter I am going to add it. Okay. Here 1 molar is given. Understood? How many number of moles you have to calculate? How many molar? Therefore, the question definition is what? If you read the theory, you will know. Because I am trying to tell you all the things. What is coagulation value or fluctuation value of a solution is what? How much millimolar of electrolyte, that is sodium chloride or potassium iodide, are added to the colloidal solution. Your colloidal solution mean potassium iodide or what? Silver nitrate and so on. This is the colloidal solution. 1 liter I take it. How much millimolar I have to add so that it becomes completely precipitated or coagulation. 1 liter of coagulation of water. That is the value you have to, that is the definition of coagulation value or flocculation value. Now for this problem, see, sol represent colloidal solution. Colloidal solution sol. Now, how many milliliter you have to calculate? Okay. This problem you have done. See, everything we started because of this problem. Okay. Here, which is the electrolyte? Sodium chloride. That is 1 molar of chloride. That is electrolyte. Sol is the colloidal solution. This is electrolyte. I am adding it. Now you have to calculate number of moles. So molarity is equal to number of moles per unit volume, isn't it? Into 1000. Because here, why I am multiplying 1000? Here coagulation 100 ml. I have taken 5 ml, like this is different. 5 ml, 100 ml and all I am adding it here. Here see 1000. Therefore, you have to calculate. This is 1 molar is given. How much 1 molar is given, right? 1 is equal to N by, what is the volume here? What is the volume is given here? 5 ml of molars, right? 5 ml. 5 ml. V is equal to 5 ml. Okay. Therefore, 5 into 1000. Therefore, N is equal to what? 5 by 1000 or 5 into 10 to the power of 3 or 5 into 10 to the power of minus 3. 10 to the power of minus 3 is milli, is it not? Therefore, N is what? 5 milli. N is number of moles. Number of moles. Millimole. Therefore, N is equal to 5 millimole. Now, what do you observe from this? This is an electrolyte now. Here what he did? For 100 ml. Look here, what is that? Sol, how much I have taken? Sol, how much? 100 ml of sol. For 100 ml of sol, how much added? 5 millimole. If I for 100, see, for 100 ml of sol, okay, I add 5 millimole. For 1 liter, how much? For 1 liter, how much I have added? Can you follow? Common sense says that for 100 ml, for 1000 ml, there 5, no? 5 into 10. Multiply both by 10 here. 100 ml of salt, 5 ml. Here for 1000 ml, 50. Therefore, 50 millimolar of electrolyte to be added. Out of 4 choice, this is the correct answer. What is the flocculation value? Flocculation value is what? Here, flocculation value is equal to 50 millimolar. Understood? No? This is the correct answer, or coagulation value. Right? Therefore, what you have to do, I have to tell 50. Here what did it? I said it. 50 millimole of KCl is KCl, so sodium chloride. 50 millimole of sodium chloride is required to coagulate how much? 1 liter of, or so directly you can do it off. Directly you need not calculate this. See, if you remember this, all these calculations are not required. On spot in 1 second you can calculate that. For 100 ml, 5. For 1000 ml, that means you must know the definition. Without this theories and all, you can't calculate. Right? You should have done all these things. This detail value. Therefore, what I tell is proper training is important for you. Right? You have to think. Students on spot, they'll tell you that exactly by looking itself, they'll tell off. Therefore, do as many problems as is possible. Otherwise, you can't do it. Right? Now, the question is this. Here they are given here. Coagulating power. See, aluminum chloride coagulated value is 0.93. And sodium chloride 0.75. Right? Which has got more coagulating power? Remember, coagulating power, majority of the students they have written this. But actually coagulating power is inversely proportional to coagulating value. Right? Flocculation power is inversely proportional flocculation value. Here aluminum, here is what? Very little quantity is enough to precipitate 1 liter of salt. Here more amount of water to more amount of electrolyte to make 1 liter of salt. Therefore, this is more inversely, remember this one. Therefore, aluminum chloride is more coagulating power or flocculation power than sodium chloride. Understood? Therefore, sodium chloride is not a good agent. Aluminum chloride is a good agent. See the question among this in the NEET. Another question. Here, if among the aluminum chloride and sodium chloride, which has got more coagulating power? Aluminum. Because this is explained by some scientists. Hardly, because students they study hardly this name. Hardly Schulze. I know Schulze. Forget about the spelling. H-A-R Hardy, S-C-H-U-L, Schulze. This fellow, this is called Hardy-Schulze rule. Hardy-Schulze rule. According to that, more the positive ion, more the charge, right? More the coagulating power. This is very obvious. Can you follow? This is another question, right? See, this is coagulative power of aluminum is greater than coagulative power of sodium. In other words, coagulative value of aluminum is less than coagulative value of sodium. See, this is another question. See, they may reverse. Coagulative power of aluminum is greater than coagulative power of sodium implies what? Coagulative value or faculty value of aluminum is less than coagulative value of sodium. They may twist it also. Got it? Conclude, more the charge, more the coagulating power, or less is the coagulative value. Again, I'll tell you, you do all possible at twisting, right? Okay. In the exam hall, you should not twist. If you have to twist here itself. There you can't twist and dance. Here you have to do properly. Okay. So I'll take another example. You take aluminum, magnesium and sodium. Which has got more coagulative power? Aluminum. Right? What about the fluctuation value of aluminum? Less. Reverse it. Right? Similar. Okay, can you follow? This is the way you have to write it. This also comes in the NEET question. So again, I'll tell you, there don't get repent. You apply your common sense, right? It is like going for the international marathon or race. Another example I'll give, any metal, central metal ion, cyanide, hexacyanide, some central metal, your iron or cobalt, to whatever you like, they may put something. This is more, this is what phosphate you take it. -3, sulfate -2, and chlorine. If you take, what will happen? Which is the greater coagulating power? This one. Because larger the ion and larger the coagulating power, or lesser the coagulative value. Hardy-Schulze rule. Remember, this is also NEET questions. For the negative charge of ion also you have to do this. Therefore, all possibilities you do it. Finally, again I make you to remember this one. Understood? The two test tube. Which one will give positive colloid and negative colloid? I think that and all you have to be very careful. Again, I am trying to recollect it and where I have written and thrown it up. Again, you write, this is potassium iodide. This is, I am adding silver nitrate. Here, silver nitrate, potassium iodide. This is a large quantity. This is what? Large quantity, or this is small. Small, this is a large quantity. Large, but the reaction is same. AgNO3 plus potassium iodide gives silver iodide plus potassium nitrate. Right? Here if I compare these two, iodine is common. Iodine. Negative colloid. Here if I compare these two, silver will go top. Positive colloid. There are positive colloid, negative colloid we have discussed. This you remember. Okay. Thank you. I think it is a very long video. 2-3 times you see. If you have any other mistakes or something, please teach me, correct me. Okay. Thank you. Each one, teach one is the our rule. Thank you.